Welcome to the Raven Roundup, your go-to podcast for all things sports at Royal Oak High School. I'm your host, Sam Klonke.
And I'm your co-host, Ben Machiniak. Join us as we dive into the exhilarating world of Royal Oak High School sports, where we cover all of the amazing teams.
That's right, Ben. Whether you're a dedicated fan cheering from the stands or a player on the field, this podcast is your backstage pass to latest updates, game highlights, and interviews with incredible Raven athletes and coaches. All right, well, welcome to episode 7 of the Raven Roundup. We're glad to be here. In the script we got here, Ben, to talk about the Lions, but
yeah,
I think we should just let that one go.
Did we even play? I don't think we even played.
I don't think,
I don't
exactly.
remember.
We
I don't
played the
recall.
first half, and then, we literally played the first half, and then we didn't show up the rest of the day.
yeah.
So we'll leave that at that. We'll
Right.
leave that at, we're excited to see next year. We're ready for the draft. We're ready for the game. We're ready to draft some defensive corners, get Cam Sutton out of here.
Cam Sutton's gone.
All right, so me and Ben are going to do a little fast 5 here. I'm going to ask him 5 this or that questions, and then he's going to ask me 5 this or that questions. Do we want to go back and forth? Do you want me to ask 5? You ask 5?
You go 5. I'll go to 5 next.
All right, we're going to go rapid fire here. All right, Ben. Texting or calling?
Texting.
Chicken nuggets or chicken fingers?
Chicken fingers.
Scary movies or comedy movies?
Comedy.
Comedy.
Yeah.
M&M's or Skittles?
M&M's.
Chocolate, all right.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
last one, I think this was the best one, honestly,
Okay.
on my list. Doing laundry or doing the dishes? I think this is a tough one.
Doing the laundry, the dishes.
Because laundry involves getting
Give me
into
laundry. Give me laundry.
You want to do laundry? You have to get it all in to the laundry machine, get into the dryer.
I don't want to
and
touch
then fold
all
it
that
all
food.
too.
Yeah. Oh, if I have to, I'll manage, but I don't want to have to touch all that food.
Yeah, I don't
Not
like
my
touching.
thing.
But unless you're eating a clean meal, you know.
Yeah,
it's like
but
a clean.
I'll
whatever.
do the
All
laundry.
right, give me your questions now.
All right. Michigan State or University of Michigan?
Michigan State, been a fan pretty much my whole life.
Stay in or go out?
Stay in or go out? Man, this really depends. Go out.
Easter food or Thanksgiving food?
I gotta say Thanksgiving food. I love my good mashed potatoes, gravy, and some turkey. I know it's kind of overrated, but
Okay.
turkey and mashed potatoes, some gravy on top.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Pen or pencil?
Oh, this is a good one too. Pen, I definitely like for everything except when you're writing like an essay. I like pencil. It's neater and not so messy, and you don't get pen ink all over your hand. Ugh.
Okay. And lastly, is it caramel or caramel?
Caramel.
Caramel? It's the right pick.
Caramel. If you say caramel, I don't know.
That's
You're
the
kind
right
of strange. Now let's get into some sports. We will once again give you updates on the winter season, and we have a interview with Coach Sopata because he had his 200th win
200.
the other day. But for right now, Ben is going to sit down with competitive cheer seniors Amanda Orlando and Jenevieve Kostecke. Check it out.
How did you guys first get involved in competitive cheer?
Well, I started cheering in 8th grade. The way we did it was like I cheered for the rec team, the Titans, and I decided I really liked it. So I did it in high school too, but I was like, what is competitive? Because basically how it works is there's sideline season and then there's competitive season, and they're like 2 completely different things. So it's kind of like we're doing a year-round sport. We're basically cheering from August?
We start in May.
May until February. So yeah, I started doing it like my sophomore year, and I ended up really liking it. But it's definitely different than sideline. I feel like that's something a lot of people don't know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started in 6th grade, but I went to private school, so I did competitive cheer in middle school. So I kind of already knew about that, and I never liked sideline. So sophomore year, I actually joined competitive season. I didn't do sideline season. But I got into it because I feel like as like a high school student, like I feel like it's good to get involved in different ways in like sports and activities, and cheerleading has always been something that I've been interested in. And so I don't know, I just joined sophomore year.
So tell me about like the competitions and stuff. Like, how does the scoring work? How does that all go down?
So basically how competitive cheer works is there's 3 rounds. The first round is jumps and motions. Second round is jumps and tumbling. And then the third round is definitely the hardest and the most confusing in the score sheets. But it's stunting and jumps.
You can do jumps, but
you can do jumps, but
stunting
it's
and
mostly
motions,
stunting, which
or
is probably the
words.
most complex aspect of cheer. And I'll let Jenevieve talk about how it's scored.
So basically scoring, there's like a bunch of different categories, and we have 3 judges at each meet or whatever.
Okay.
and they all score based out of 10, 10 being the highest, so you aim for 10s, and 1 obviously being the lowest. Some of the categories would be like difficulty. So like in round 3, that's a very like you want to have a certain score for difficulty. And I don't know, there's choreography, like let's say skills. So like a jump, you would want and it has to be like a 10 is like perfect, like the perfect jump they've ever seen.
Have you guys ever gotten a 10?
I don't think so. I think like
highest, it's really difficult.
It's hard to get a 10. Like it is
They're
unlikely
very
to get
picky.
10s.
I mean, there's like a lot of little things that they will score you off of. Like for example, at our competition over the weekend, a girl's bow fell out of her hair onto the mat, and that's a penalty.
So they take away like a point?
It was 2 points.
More than a point. Oh my gosh.
So it's little stuff like that. Like if you have like nail polish on,
jewelry,
they're very
you get
strict.
penalties.
Whoa.
If you step off the mat, that's a huge penalty. And then the obvious penalties, like you drop a stunt or someone falls to the ground. The weirdest penalty?
I'm pretty sure you can't have like colored hair. Like it has to be like natural colors.
What?
Yeah, like they're very strict.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but like if your glasses fall off, that's a penalty. Like anything. Or this is a weird penalty. If you like touch if your skirt goes up and you touch it to like pull it down, isn't that like a penalty?
What?
Yeah. So if you're
or like if you touch your hair,
that's like some like that's
you can't
weird.
pull it down.
It's so, like, very like cheer. You have to be perfect. Like it's like
what?
You have to be like to
so
a
like
T.
if you're like you guys wear skirts?
Yeah.
So if it like rolls up, you have to like,
you have to keep it there. You
just
can't
keep it
like,
there.
hold
Well,
it
not
down.
if it rolls up. It's not like if you touch it to pull it down, that would be the penalty.
If it rolls up, you just gotta leave
weird.
it. Keep
That's
going.
really weird.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. So your new coach, Alex Zibke, got hired over the off season. Talk about her and what she's done for the program so far.
Our old coach didn't really believe in us but had very high expectations, and now our new coach, like she believes in everything that we do, and it's very like I would say as a team, like I feel like I can go to practice and I know like I'm going to leave practice in a good mood and knowing that I have someone that believes in me. So it's just easier it actually made me like fall back in love with the sport that I fell out of love with. So
yeah, I think like just overall the energy at practice is a lot more like positive and everyone's just uplifting with each other. But like overall what we needed at the end of last season, being so beat down and felt like we couldn't do anything the next season, we needed a new coach, and she really came in and took that role, and she's helping to build our program, which is really great. But, being a student athlete, it's not easy. So what we needed was someone that will understand that and at the same time want to push us to be better. So she's definitely done a good job at doing that.
Yeah, I will say like we are much stronger than we were last year because of her coaching. And like Amanda said, she's building a program. We have this middle school team. Our JV team is getting stronger. We actually have a JV coach. Back then, like last year, our coach was coaching JV, which was hard because we didn't have that much.
It just wasn't
focus.
very
We needed that
organized.
focus.
So the attention was like taken off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So as seniors, leaders on the team, how do you guys keep your composure during something like this, a coaching change? It affects the program out. So like, how do you guys keep everybody in check?
I just tried to remind people that like, yes, change is difficult, but it's good. Like it wasn't change for the negative, it was change for the positive.
Right.
So I honestly would tell them like they would complain, and I would try to tell them like to keep the complaints to like a minimum.
Yeah.
Like obviously you're not going to be happy with some things. It's new coaching. Like she's not going to coach the same way our old coach did, but there was a reason that we got a new coach to just have a little bit of faith in her and allow her to coach us, which we struggle with a little bit, but we're getting better.
I think like the biggest like aspect about being an athlete is being adaptable to like new changes and welcoming a new coach. Like as a senior, this is my third coach in my high school career, and that's not easy. Everyone has different coaching styles and everyone has different like learning styles. So, some people may have done better with the old coach, but it's just like a matter of being adaptable and willing to go with like what the new coach has set in her rules and everything.
So what do you guys enjoy most about being a competitive cheerleader?
Do you want to know?
I would say just like the team is just everyone's super encouraging of each other. And I really like cheer is different than a lot of other sports. I dabbled around a couple other sports. I tried volleyball because everyone's like, oh, you're tall. I cannot hit a ball for the life of me. But cheer, I like it because it has different aspects in it. You got tumbling, stunting, and overall it's just like, it's a great experience. It's a great way to make friends. and I spent a lot of my time there. But, I would say that we as a team have progressed a lot, and that's definitely the best thing about being there every day.
I would say, like, other teams may be close, but as cheerleaders, I feel like we are with each other for, like, 3 hours a day, like, 5 days a week. And you have to trust who you're with. I mean, you're trusting someone to put you up in the air, and you're trusting that they'll catch you. And honestly, I've never had an issue with anyone on my team. I love them very deeply. And one thing I really, truly like about competitive cheer is how close the team is. Like, we are truly, really close to each other.
So what advice would you give to somebody who is interested in joining competitive cheer?
Ooh.
I would say give it a try. I think a lot of people have a lot of preconceived notions about cheerleading and, you just sit on the sidelines and look pretty. But competitive cheer is where you're putting in your talent, and it's definitely one of the most mentally and physically challenging things I've ever done. But I would say it's been a great experience, especially for high school sports. Like, I knew I wanted to do a sport. I didn't know what sport that was going to be. But joining competitive cheer, I really just found my passion for the sport.
If you're thinking about it, even if just a small part of you is like, maybe do it. I mean, there's no like hurt or foul in joining.
There's strengths for everyone in the sport. I mean, for example, if you don't like tumbling, you can try stunting. And I think it's very versatile, and I recommend it.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you to Amanda and Jenevieve. Great interview, Ben. It was good to see that.
It was good. Yeah, good time.
The Royal Oak bowling teams have had quite the last couple of weeks. Starting with the Oakland County Championship, the boys team qualified for the bracket play in 11th place. The team lost in the first round to Clarenceville by 30 pins. Just 30 pins. Wow, that's close.
Yeah,
the team has not placed above 16th in that tournament since 2016. So overall, great performance.
Yeah.
They finished strong. What Ravens bowled the best, Ben?
So Carter Harris, he placed fourth with a high score of 668. Which is a 223 average through 3 games.
Wow, okay.
That's really impressive. Oliver Harris placed 8th overall in the high series with 649, which is a 217 average through 3 games. And he was tied for 3rd overall in the high game with a 257.
Well, great job from both of them.
That's impressive bowling.
Yeah,
that is.
Very. We talked about it that one episode where I said I shot a 68 or something. Oh, geez.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
The girls bowling team placed 9th in their Oakland County Championship. The girls also took a tough loss in the first round of match play. Another great performance by the team, and 9th in the Oakland County Championship is great.
So in the match against Farmington, Royal Oak suffered a tough loss 22-8. There was a great series of game thrown by Carter Harris. Starting in his first game, he threw 290.
Holy cow. 300 is a perfect score, Ben.
That is absurd. That is really good. He had a spare in the first frame and a strike in every other frame.
Wow.
After that huge game, he stayed in focus, and there was a 266 making a run of 19 strikes in a row. With a series of 556 through 2 games, he was successful to set a Royal Oak High School record for the highest 2-game series. Congratulations to Carter Harris on such a nice couple of games.
Congratulations, Carter. 290. Getting a spare your first frame, and then the next, how many strikes in a row? 19 strikes. 19 strikes in a row. Wow. The girls beat Farmington and had a great win over them. It was a good match with a high game thrown by Veronica Nolte of 165. And then over the weekend, the Royal Oak girls team placed 2nd in the Tri-County Invitational with a high game of 202. It was a great tournament from the girls. The final was a tough fight with Royal Oak taking game 1 and Oxford taking game 2 with a higher differential. Well done, girls.
This week, the bowling teams have 2 matches. They would have already played Harper Woods on Monday. By the time you're listening to this, they already played that one. And then on Wednesday, they will have a match at Astro Lane against Ferndale at 3:45 p.m.
All right, good luck to them.
Yeah. On Saturday, the wrestling team competed in the Lakeshore Invite Tournament. Robbie Godow, Aiden Tesh, and Andy Allen were all undefeated on the day.
Great job.
Yeah.
Undefeated. In that tournament, so you have more than one. You have like 5 matches from all these different schools. So, I mean, they're probably like 5-0 on the day. That's great stuff. This Friday, the wrestling team has the OAA White Championship hosted at Berkeley. Good luck to our Raven wrestlers, and we'll give you guys updates on that next week.
So the Unified Basketball team, they won both of their games last week.
We did.
On Wednesday, the team traveled to Clawson and won with a final score of 39-32. Then on Friday, Southfield came to the nest, and the Ravens beat them with a final score of 32-22. So tell me, who were the best players from that game? Standout players.
In the Southfield game, Jesse Hill had a lot of great buckets and finished with 8 points. Grant Hatterman, once again, had some amazing three-pointers with 11 points on the game. And Devin Lyon had a good game after injuring his knee in the Clawson game on Wednesday. And he came back and he was ready to go. And he helped the team out a lot. But, I mean, everyone on that team did a fantastic job and really contributed in a big way for those both of those wins. And it was a great time. And
so what's going on with girls basketball here?
So the girls basketball team had a very busy week last week. Starting last Monday, the girls had their first league game against Seaholm, and it was a very close one. But in the end, Seaholm won with a final score of 34-32. What happened on Tuesday, Ben?
Then on Tuesday, the Rochester Falcons, they came to our place, the Nest. A showdown between two birds. In the end, the Ravens were the better bird and won with a final score of 26-21. It was a big defensive battle there. The standout players go to Lucy Freitag with 10 points, Emmy Walden with 4 points, 6 rebounds, and a very physical defensive game. And then Anna Waterstret had 5 steals.
So this win over the Falcons was also Coach Sopata's 200th win. So on his coaching career, give him a round of applause. Great job. Career with ROGB and, man, 200 wins.
Sam talked to Coach Sopata later in the week. Here's what he had to say.
All right, I'm here with Coach Sopata. Congratulations on your 200th win. How do you feel about that? What does this milestone mean to you?
Well, I think the first thing is it means a lot just to the program in general. Like 200 wins, we've played a bunch of games, kind of sweet to say, hey, we've won that many. And then it makes me think of like all the coaches, but really all the players that have come through. For our current team, it was really like just kind of emotional and meaningful. That they were there and that they could experience that moment and be a part of it. And that celebration at the end was just, it's hard to even put into words, but it was emotional for me. My parents, my family were there. It was awesome.
And talking about your players, they were so happy to see this incredible milestone that you achieved earlier this week. Talk about more about that.
No, I mean, I think realistically, like, I told them I'm not a person who like the spotlight I want shined on me. I mean, I want it to be about them. And so like to see their joy, to see their excitement, their celebration, they got me a crown to wear, which was cracking me up a little bit. I got a basketball. And the smiles on their faces, the excitement of it, like just to know that they were trying to like win that for me, but really like it's for us, right? Like that's what we're trying to do. They're a great group of kids, and so that was really special as well.
Well, congratulations and keep up the great work.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Then on Thursday, the girls traveled to Bloomfield Hills to play the Blackhawks, and they lost the game with a final score of 48-41. Who do the girls got this week?
ROGB has 2 games this week. By the time you're hearing this episode, the girls will have already played Groves on Tuesday, and the other game is on Friday against North Farmington at home at 7 p.m.
Nice.
Good luck to them this week.
Yep. Last week, the boys team, they lost to Stony Creek with a final score of 51-50.
And then on Friday, the boys took on Ferndale University. It was a close game all the way through. In the fourth, Ferndale University had the lead most of the time. Yeah, and then in the final 4 seconds, Ben, the Ravens were down by 3.
Yep.
With the ball.
Yep.
And Camden Clark threw it up there behind the arc.
It was deep.
It was pretty deep.
Just
over the guy's
money.
head.
It was pure money.
And sent the game to overtime. Yeah. And here's the video that we'll show the video that Ben took.
I got it on video. I did.
It was great. It's a great video. We'll show it up there. Of the video of him tying it all and sending it to overtime. So we'll show it up.
In overtime, the Ravens kept the energy and the momentum, and they won with a final score of 47-45. The Ravens are now 9-6, 4-3 in the OAA Blue. So who are they playing this week?
Well, the boys' basketball team has 2 home games this week. By the time you're hearing this episode, they will already have played Avondale tonight on Monday, and their second game of the week is this Thursday against Oxford at 7 p.m. So 2 tough teams going to battle at the Nest. So make sure you guys pop out for both of those games. Obviously, by the time you're hearing this, they already played Avondale. Let's give them some good luck. So boys swim and dive. Thursday, the boys had a meet against North Farmington. They took the win with a final score of 101-81.
Yep.
Who was the man of the meet, Ben?
So there was 2 men of the meet, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They were Johnny McKellar, who went 4 for 4 on PRs, swimming his best times. And the other one was Charlie Gilreath, who also went 4 for 4 on his best times.
And then on Saturday, they took on Fenton and won that 108-78.
Big win.
The men of the meet were Jackson McCaffrey, who had a huge 13.96 second drop in the 500, and Jacob Fowler, who swam in lots of events and helped the team.
Yeah, busy man.
Still had a 5-second drop in the 100 free.
Yeah.
What is going on this week, Ben?
The boys swim and dive team, they have 3 meets this week. They would have already swam against Stony Creek on Tuesday by the time you're listening to this. And on Friday, the dive team, they will be traveling to Warrenmont High School to compete in the Oakland County diving meet. Then on Saturday, the boys swim team, they travel back over to Warrenmont to compete in the Oakland County swim meet.
Good luck this week, boys. And next week, we're going to have Coach Miller on.
Yes, we are.
For an interview at the pool deck, and I'm excited to interview him.
That'll be good.
See how this season's going, see his background with swim and dive, and go from there.
Yeah.
The M1 Griffins.
So last week in the Griffins, they played a tough Clarkson team back-to-back. On Thursday, the Griffins, they lost 4-0, and on Saturday, they lost 6-1.
Right. And then on Saturday, it was charity night.
It was.
For the M1 Griffins, and it was Lucy Love. We're actually both wearing.
We're both
wearing a. It's to defeat DIPG cancer, and
yeah.
Tell me more about that, Ben.
So it's called Lucy Love, and I know they donate all of the like proceeds or money that they gained because they had like raffles out.
Shirts.
Yeah.
I bought a shirt. They had all these bands.
And they all donate to the DIPG Foundation. And Lucy was the cousin of M1 captain Kyle Passwater.
So, yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then all the players, they chose one kid to represent for Saturday.
That has the DIPG
Yeah,
cancer?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that's the type of cancer, but I know it is. It's a cancer. Mm-hmm. And they all chose one kid to represent. There's a video of all picking it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
It was good.
Very good feel-good moment.
Extremely.
At that game. The Griffins are looking to bounce back as they have 3 away games this week. On Wednesday, they play Northville at 7:30 p.m. Friday, they play Utica High School. And Saturday, they play the Birmingham Kings. Once again, they played them earlier.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to episode 7 of the Raven Roundup. We hope that you were able to get all of the information and updates about the winter sports, along with great interviews from Coach Sopata and competitive cheer athletes Amanda Orlando and Jenevieve Kostecke.
We will be back next week with episode 8, where we continue to provide more updates on the winter seasons, along with a great interview with the boys swim dive coach, Coach Miller. Once again, thank you for listening and or watching to the Raven Roundup, where we round up all of the amazing Raven sports. I'm your host, Sam Klonke.
I'm your co-host, Ben Machiniak. We will see you all next week on the Raven Roundup.
But for now, remember that it's a great day to be a Raven. Stay safe.